Greetings everyone, welcome and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Miss Khiara Henry. Khiara was 23 years old, a San Diego native, when she went missing in Hawaii. So she took a solo trip there and spent some time on the Big Island, and also went to Maui, flew back from Maui to the Big Island, where she rented a car on July 21st of 2019. 2 days later, that car was found abandoned at a state park. And so I really just wanted to look at this case and see what we could see. So let's go ahead and get into the first spread. So in this first spread, we see happiness, happy to walk away from anxiety, bounded negative or unhealthy feelings, and really looking to embrace new ideas, breakthroughs, and focus on stabilizing and guarding, new attributes of, new feelings, new ideas, embracing love, just being more on the positive end. So this was likely the idea or the mentality or the space that she was in when she went there. Hawaii is a beautiful place, so what better place to match these ideas, this term of spirituality with a beautiful place. Is just conducive. They bounce off of each other. So I feel like this was a state of mind she was likely in. So in this spread, what I think happened, because I did several spreads and then I just didn't record them, and I did a couple spreads a couple days ago. I got similar reads, and then I got an impression, which I'll tell you at the end of the reading. So basically what I gathered was that, she was free-spirited and bubbly, friendly, you know what I mean? So, and I'm like that too. And so that's why I can really identify with her energy. One, wanting to go to a beautiful place to embody new ideas and fresh and positive energy, and then being super friendly and open. So, because I've done that, I've got some tales to tell. But I think that and this is what the cards are telling us, that when she traveled there, she linked up with either a few people, a couple of people, or one person, and formed some kind of connection or bond, right? And everything seemed okay until something happened. There could have been some kind of dispute, a disagreement, maybe a difference in ideas on certain things. Those things can go haywire in a matter of moments. That's why you should never talk politics and religion and things like that when you're first meeting people. So we don't know what the disputes were, but the deck is saying, well, the cards are indicating that there was a dispute, or bullying maybe, or intimidation. And so it looked like to me that she realized that she really didn't need to be in that situation. And I think it's so hard for people like us when we get caught up in a moment, because we really do intimize, I'll say, which isn't a word. We really make it intimate when we connect with people, because we're so genuine and pure in how we connect with people, that it's a big deal to us. So when you meet somebody and you think you've clicked, whether it's platonic or romantic, it's a big deal. So when something happens, it can be devastating. And that's kind of what I see here, is that she had a realization, and then it looked like to me she needed to establish the confidence to say, you know what, I don't really need this situation. I think whatever happened really quickly, you know what I mean? So I don't need to be in a situation, and I kind of need to see my way out of it. And there, you have the Seven of Swords, where you just needed to kind of make your way out, be sneaky, and strategize the situation, because she could have gone to somebody's space, somebody's house, we don't really know. And I kind of do feel like she went somewhere, she was invited somewhere. She linked up with somebody, felt like she got along with them really well. The vibes were good. The air was good. She was available. You're on this free spin and you're just kind of enjoying yourself. And it's I'm down for this. And, you go to somebody's space, or they're like, hey, I know an awesome place over here. And then you end up going. But I felt like she likely needed to escape the situation, physically, and when she realized that there was a problem. So the sneakiness, the strategy with the Seven of Swords, and then the Three of Swords with betrayal, grief, sorrow, just how you can be on a high 1 minute, you know what I mean, having a great time, the environment's great, the vibe's great, you think the people are great, and then like in a matter of moments, like you have a realization and it's like, wow, how did I not see that coming, or how did I not pick up on that? And so you have the three of swords there, which is like betrayal, grief, sorrow, so initially, what I was trying to make out from the other cards, and I kept asking, I said, well, did they harm her? Did somebody bring her somewhere and she wanted to leave and they wouldn't let her leave, or they harmed her? And I did not get a death card. I didn't get a death card. I didn't get a four of swords. I didn't get any of that, but I have a hard time believing that she would stay away from her family this long without making contact. What I did feel like is that it was a possible suicide. Like she possibly termed herself out, just being so defeated and done with these types of situations. And when we go into the next deck, we'll just look at that a little bit more. So in this spread, we see there was a need or desire for new beginnings away from the oppression of codependency and a sense of powerlessness. Also, like just being done with fighting and conflict, sometimes clashes of the ego, or just having a hard time finding safe and consistent people who are sane and sound and well balanced. The nightmare that the sense of completion is only something of dreams. Some people do feel like that they really have trouble connecting with people, like their purity really just kind of keeps them from seeing the reality that, or understanding the reality that most of the time you're not going to be able to maintain pure connections with people, because people are, they're flawed. Everybody's on their own journey and their path in life. So sometimes it's hard to deal with that. And I see some of that in this spread, that there was a struggle to detach from the need to connect, to have community, or to connect in a way that made her feel alive or made her feel great about life. So, with the Ten of Cups, we see completion and family, but then we also see, like with the Four of Swords, there was a need to recuperate and needing a sanctuary and then walking away. So even if the family situation was complete, for some reason she felt like she needed her space, she needed to recover and walk away and find her own way, make her own path. So it seems like to me that there was stuff going on, like within the family, with all due respect, no shade, I don't know. But I picked that up quite a bit, when I started drawing cards the other day, and I saw like there was so much around, like, connecting and like all these cup cards and connecting and love and the need for positivity, joy, and clarity. It almost painted a picture like she's coming from a space or a place that she wasn't really feeling fulfilled, like emotionally, like as far as like having an emotional connection. I could be wrong, but that's just what I'm getting from the cards. So if you're family and you're watching, no tea, no shade. It just seems like she was looking for something that was fulfilling, like in community and in family, which could be why she was like moving around a lot too, looking for something, looking to connect, traveling quite often. So we also see, the will to be graceful and diplomatic with the Knight of Cups. So between like being honest and principled and fair and, being, critical of herself and others and herself in the situation, like it just looked like she was trying to do what she could to protect herself emotionally, but still like, in this space of feeling like hardships and adversity and feeling alienated with the Five of Pentacles. And this is why I feel like, it's possible. It looks like to me it was possible that she just decided to term herself out. And if she didn't term herself out, then maybe she broke mentally and is somewhere in the space of, those islands. But I didn't take out the true crime deck because I didn't feel like it was like anything like true crime, but it just really feels like she was just kind of done, like something triggered, like something was a catalyst. Something was a catalyst to make her, just say, I'm done. I'm done, like with trying to connect with people. I'm done with the codependency, the need to connect, there's a constant need to connect, and whatever happened there, whoever she hooked up with there, not hooked up as in sex or whatever, but just whoever she connected with, and it went bad, and it went bad really quickly. I think that was the catalyst for her. Like, she was just done. Like, it just put her in a space where she probably just felt like very much alone, because the family was saying that they were texting her and she was ignoring the text, or she wasn't responding. And then when her car was found, or when the rental car was found 2 days after she rented it at the park, the national park, all her stuff was in the vehicle. You know, all of her stuff was in there. Nothing was missing. Everything was in there. And the first thing I thought, and I was like, oh, she, not only did she get in the water, but she got in the water and she termed herself, because the currents, that place has like really strong currents, but I felt like that was her means of doing it. If she was on the island wandering around like somebody that was kind of out of it, unstable, she would have been found by now. Those islands are very small. The case, got a lot of publicity there. Somebody would have found her if she was just wandering around. So that was the first thing that hit me, was that she got in the water. She got in the water and had no intentions of getting out. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling, that this was a suicide. So let's keep her and her family in your thoughts, and in our thoughts, and hopefully send her some positive energy, and hopefully the family will get some real clarity and some closure with this situation. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in and supporting the video by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.